Hi, math friends. We're going to check out how to calculate percent error today. So, in the real world, we want to see what our percent error is to see how close or how far away we were based on predictions, and then see what implications those might have. So, in this case, we have the manager at McDonald's estimates that they will sell 300 double cheeseburgers this week. At the end of the week, they actually sold 325 double cheeseburgers. So, to find percent error, I have a kind of a formula I need to remember. We're going to take our actual, subtract our estimate, and divide by the actual. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line there at the end. Divide by the actual. Okay. We kind of want to take the absolute value here because we want a percent. Sometimes we go over, sometimes we go under, but we want to know how far off we were. All right, so my actual here is 325. We actually sold that much. Our estimate was 300. And divide by the actual, 325. So 325 minus 300, we get 25 over 325. So now I set it up. Dividend in the house. And divisor goes outside, right? So dividend is the 25. Now how many times does 325 go into 25? A little bit tricky. It doesn't go into it. So we got to use a decimal. Put a 0. 325 into 250. Oh, no, that doesn't work. All right, another 0 then. 325 into 2,500. Let's see. 3 times would be about 1,000. So how about 6 times? Let's try that. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12. 13, 14, 15. I think all of these thinking steps are important. 6 times 3 is 18. 19. So I get 1950. I could still go a little bit more. Maybe 2 more. So let's do 1950 and 325 times 2, right? That's easy. So that would be 650. Let's see, does that go over or is that good? So 0, this is 10, so 10, so that's 6, and then this is 1, so it looks like, 10, so carry the 1 here, 2, 2,600. So it looks like that went over a little bit, so I'm going to use 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. Subtract that. Got to borrow. This becomes a 10, which becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. 5, 2, 2, 0 here. So we need to drop down another 0. Whoop. All right, now I'm looking at this and saying, 7 times was 2275, and I've got 2250, so it's got to be 6 times now. 6 times 325, we did that already right here. 1950. 1950. Looks like I'm going to need some more room here. I'm running out of room on my screen, but that's okay. Borrow. I get 300. I'm going to do another 0. Now with this, we're only going to go to 4 places after the decimal to find this percentage, and we'll see why after we do this step. So now I've got 3,000. We saw over here this was 8 times before, because 6 and 2 more. So it looks like maybe 9, right? 2,600 plus 325, yeah. So I'm going to go 9. So if I do 2,600 plus 325, I get 5, 2, 9, 2, 2,925. So that's just below 3,000. 2,925 equals borrow all of this. 9, 9, 10. So I get a 5, a 7, 9 minus 9 is 0. So I get 75. All right, so what we got to do here. So I'm going to have more digits here. We're going to stop after 4 digits after the decimal. Remember how to convert this. 0.0769. To make it into a percent, I multiply by 100, which means move the decimal twice to the right. And I'm going to have about 7.69%. All right, I'm going to make a new page. We're going to think about exactly that number there, okay? Let's clear this, 7.69%. So I'm going to say there is a 7.69% error. Realizing that that's not a great color to type in. Sorry about that. And that's a low percentage. It's below 10%. So this means that the estimate was pretty close to begin with. All right. So my real world implication is that, you know, they ordered maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, but they were pretty close. All right. Let's check out another one so we get more practice here. While working at Popeyes, you made a guess that you would sell 510 chicken sandwiches in a week. Instead, you sold 400 of them. So right away, I'm thinking, wow, 500 and 400, that's a big difference. All right, so let's do our actual minus our estimate divided by the actual, 400. Okay. And remember, if I think of absolute value here, that might help. So absolute value of that, I get 110 over 400. Okay, so let's go dividend in the house. Right away, I'm noticing 400 will not go into 110. So that's got to be 0. We'll put another 0 here. 400 into 1,000. Well, 400's kind of easier to think about, right? Because 4 times 2 is 800. 400 times 3 would be 1,200. So 2 times. I'm just using my front end estimation with the 4. Right? So 2 times 400 is 800. Subtract that. I get 300. Drop a 0 down so I can continue. 3,000. Now I know my 4s. 4 times 5 is 200. So it's got to be 7. 4 times 7 is 28. So this is 2,800. So I get 2,800. Subtract it. I get 200. Drop a 0 down. Now I'm only going to go to 4 decimal places. 400 into 200. Oh, into 2,000. Perfect. 5 times 4 is 20. So this is 2,000. That leaves no remainder. So now 0.275. Let's move our decimal place twice. 1, 2. So my percent error is 27.5% error. I'm thinking about like things that we're selling here, the chicken sandwiches. So this is actually pretty significant to be off by that much. So this is a significant amount to be off by. We should consider different methods for our estimates. So in the real world, that's what we would say after we did this kind of estimate for this. All right. Hope that helps. And remember, study well. Keep practicing. You got this.